things plaguing them in the zoo. Lies and deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Gov't is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back, Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogwu coup, so-called Nzogwu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. What I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. That was a coup by Nzogwu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed, restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gov't and decided that regionalism was the best way forward. Restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent. Wales, the same thing. Everybody is free. But Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy, I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Middle Belt on their, Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos to Gov't, telling Gov't not to agree, after having signed the agreement. That same Gov't you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gov't said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to Gov't to ask him, why did he say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Gov't or gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gov't was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time, they are rough, they are not even and Biafra must come. It must. Under one leadership.
protectorate under one coordination all over the world. There is only one indigenous people of Biafra. We are aware now. They want to establish fake groups. They want to deceive you. They want to cheat you. Some idiots may answer IPOB, but you must understand they are not one of us. It is the same thing as Boko Haram wearing police and army uniform to go and kill people. These people are not part of us and can never ever be. How will the products of APC? These are evil men and little boys. We must counter them wherever we see them. They are not IPOB. We have no government. The government of the indigenous people of Biafra is the indigenous people of Biafra. So when the time comes, Biafrans will vote and decide who will govern them. Until then, we are not a government. We are servants of the people, as we shall continually demonstrate. Allow me to repeat what I said before. We are not a government, I tell you. I must warn and caution you. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. There is no government, there is no addition. Of course, we have an embassy, that is true. That embassy is not an organization. We don't run any other website apart from ipob.org. We don't have any other radio station on this earth apart from Radio Biafra. I'm aware that Awasa set up with APC, they set up 1 or 2 radio stations to answer our name as part of their subterfuge and ocean provocateur. But they will not prevail, they will not succeed, they cannot survive the heat because we are ordained, baptized in this very fire of truth and honesty. That is why we preach it without compromise. There is no other way to do it. We are the children of light. That is why we have come. Or should I say, that is why Chukukika Biama determined that we should come. That is why this evening, as always, we must preach his gospel. We must preach it to the fullest. Only those who are blessed can partake or participate. Only those that see.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. Good evening, good morning, and welcome to this program. While you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join wherever you are watching from. Are you watching on Facebook, at Judge Money blog? Share the video and invite others to join. Are you watching on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa? Share this video and don't forget to click the like and subscription button on that YouTube channel. And are you watching on Twitter? We are also live on Twitter. Don't forget to retweet the video. We are here and we are back again to continue where we stopped yesterday, when we were actually debunking the plans of the enemies against the peace of a mankind. Yesterday we touched on a lot of things. Of course, you remember we were talking about the professor who actually blamed South Africa because the AU decided that they will also come into the situation of Niger Republic. And you understand there is a lot of conflict of interest in that regard. There is a lot of conflict of interest in that regard. So we're going to continue where we stopped. But before we go there, there is a lot of things making round on social media. And then I want to actually, make our people to know that you shouldn't get confused. You should not get confused. It is important that you don't get confused. Stay focused. We are fighting enemies that is actually everywhere around us. So we stay focused and make sure we don't relent and make sure we don't lose focus. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State should be very careful of the way he is handling the affairs of Biafrans in Enugu State. He should be very, very careful on the way he is handling the affairs of the people in Enugu State. Governor Peter Mba, you are like a person. You just woke up. Ijuberonde, you never ask people who are awake if they have eaten. You are already trying to get to the port. It is very, very important that you desist from intimidating our people. If you don't desist from intimidating our people, we are going to open your own chapter. And it won't be good. Demilitarize Enugu State and allow people to go their various places. When you see that these criminals that are in Finland is, calling on his sit at home, all you need to do is to bring security. How many of them are going to, what are they going to do? Bring security, not military. You have the history, you know the history of bringing military into our land. And you brought military into our land. And these militaries, they are killing people in our land. They are intimidating people. Demilitarize Enugu State, Governor Peter Mba. We don't want to hear any casualties on our people in Enugu State. We don't want to hear any casualties against our people in Enugu State. You are just a new governor. And you have shown the incompetency of being a governor. You have shown the incompetency that you are being a governor that started with iron fist without actually investigating to know the background of the situation where you are coming to face. You started with iron fist. It will not end well if you continue in that lane. You are on a fast lane. And we have been crying and lamenting the activities of the military whenever they are deployed into Biafra land. They will never look for the criminals. They will start destroying and killing innocent people. A new governor, you are not yet there for more than 90 days. A new governor, you have already killed more than 2 persons. You are not yet there for more than 90 days. You have killed more than 2 persons. You are not killing a criminal. You didn't kill a criminal. You killed more than 2 innocent people for the sake that they are protesting that you close their shop where they make the ends meet. The shop you never started for any of them. The shop Enugu State Governor Emeritus never started for any of them. You closed it. You killed 3. And I believe you have never actually met with the family of those you have killed their breadwinner or their own. You didn't meet with them. And of course, you are maybe planning to continuous militarization of Enugu State. It cannot be tolerated. Governor Peter Mba demilitarize Enugu State, because all these politics that Fulanis are using you people to play in Biafra land. On one hand, one person will be there calling on a doom in the name that he is fighting for freedom, doing what he does not have capacity to do. Anything that will hurt our people, it is intolerable or intolerable. Anything that is going to hurt our people are already suffering. And the reason why we are standing put and challenging anything that is coming from the infiltrators, it is to safeguard our people, not to kill them. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu want Biafra land to be calm, and not he is actually in the DSS facility for the sake of these people, not to kill them. So anybody who will come and tell you that your job is commendable, that person is lying to you. It is very, very important that you know that your job is a failure. You are actually the highest score in killing of our people. Less than 90 days in the office, you have killed 3. Let's just say that you are killing 1 each month, but you have killed 3 in 1 day. And the military are actually trooping moving around all over Enugu State. You know, had it been that this military or police or anything that you are using in the name that you are fighting the enemy that is set up by the government to continuously destabilize our land, whenever he fails, he come out online to say he is extending olive branch. Tell Simon to go and extend olive branch to his family members first. He should extend olive branch to his family members if they are living or if they exist, before he will come and talk rubbish on the media space in the name he is extending olive branch. After killing the people on the ground, after actually orchestrating the killing and the doom of our people, you come and extend olive branch to your father or to your to your siblings, if you have one, because I don't believe you have family. If you had family, you wouldn't be behaving the way you are behaving, you and your criminals on the ground. Forget about all this, your motivational speech in the media space that you always come to use to deceive our people. Forget about those rubbish. You only deceive people without that is without their spirit. Those are the type of people you can only deceive, not people like me. After your criminality, you have called sit at home with your criminal lawyer Jimako. He's been defending you all this while. At the end of the day, you people went to meet Peter Mba. After meeting Peter Mba, you claim you are going to enforce it at home. He militarized Enugu State. Who knows what exactly you people discussed with Peter Mba? To the extent that he has to militarize Enugu State. They have used some faction of Ohanese to come and tell us, call for militarization of the whole of Biafra land in the name of state of emergency. We tackled that. You people went behind our back to go and meet Peter Mba. After that, he declared Enugu State militarized. 3 people died in his hand already. His cause is even higher than Hope Uzodinma so far. Because Hope Uzodinma, I don't think he started killing in the first, 2-3 months. I know his cause is very high. But he did. You that started in the first 3 months, 3 people. What are you going to do in the next 6 months? These are our people you are killing. It is not a goat. It is not animals. They are Biafrans. And we are here on behalf of every Biafrans on the ground. We are here to protect them, to protect their right, to advocate for their safety and security. That's what we are here for. Not to destroy the lives of our people. And then I will not spare again anybody who will come and praise you that you are doing well. I will not even care whether me and you are in the same, or maybe we might not be on the same equal yoke, but we might be in the same, sheep. But I don't know when you offloaded yourself. Maybe, many of us we will be in one sheep, but some people might offload themselves without you knowing. So, this is going to be a kind of respect to anybody that is going to come and praise the oppressor of our people. In a very, very bad way. We are focused. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is suffering for the sake of these people in the DSS facility. And we cannot promote anything that is actually destroying the lives of these people. We cannot. Never. It is not the reason why I'm here. So, I keep my cool because I know that we are facing a very formidable array of enemy. And we will not actually allow them to come into us or to destabilize what we are doing or cause confusion among us. But I know that this IPOB led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they are whiter than white and they're whiter than snow, and they will continue to be so. The day any of them will go astray, I will caution them regardless of who. I will, because from the inception, it is the truth that we are here to speak. We are not here to make friends. We are here to protect our people. That is the reason why the rise of infiltrator will make sure that we curtail them every step of the way. They have deceived many. They have deceived a lot of our people. We know that, but we will continue fighting because it takes resilience to win in everything you actually embark upon. That is a digression. I'm sorry for that digression. Of course, you have seen what we have today that we are here to talk about. You have seen what we are here to talk about. It is about the activities of African Union and ECOWAS. African Union and ECOWAS led by Tinubu, your president-elect. And when we call him president-elect, it is what he called himself. Because he said the majority of you, he knows you did not vote for him. So, he is president-elect in the order of himself. That I call him that. So, if you look at the activities of the African Union and ECOWAS, you will understand that there is a serious division in the continent of Africa. Serious division. The young militaries are rising up to challenge the status quo. Post-colonialism. They have risen up to stand and challenge the status quo post-colonialism because they are not understanding or actually getting it that Africa has everything, whole resources that they have. Africa have every resources that made the Western world great. There is no area in the Western world that you will see looking like a junky place the way many African countries are. There is no place you will see in the West that does not have infrastructural growth or advanced technologies, industry. It is only in Africa. Now you come to realize that these people, they are making use of your resources just like they have been making use of the your oil, crude oil. They have been making use of crude oil, which is when you talk about natural resources such as those that that is used for fossil fuel like coal. They have made use of your coal and they are still making use of your coal. They are making use of your oil, which all these carbon emission engines is using to actually function. It is your oil that the carbon emission engines use to function. They have been exploring this oil. They have been, making use of this oil, use it to build first, second, third, and fourth industrial revolution at your expense. Your resources was used to bring first, second, third, and fourth industrial revolution. Now, after using all this, making the climate sick, use it to pollute everywhere because they are manufacturing weapon of mass destruction. They are manufacturing different things that they want to use to kill people, because in their own diary it is all about how to destroy humankind. They manufacture, they use these things and all that. It favored them to build their own country, to build the West. Now it is come to the time Africa is in realization of what they have lost or what they have lost and them must have missed. Now coming back to enjoy the fourth industrial revolution using the resources that is at their disposal. Emergency occurs. The climate is become sick. That many people have to even die for this climate sickness to be cured. That there will be a rollout of new stuff that is going to undermine those resources that they have used over the centuries to innovate and build their country. Now the time you are realizing what the value of those things, they are shifting and moving away from it. And they are also forcing you to shift and move away from it. That is the reason why the European Union are planning to, they are planning to drop every carbon emission vehicle. Every carbon emission vehicle by 2030. If they drop carbon emission vehicles, those countries who are oil producing nations, what is going to be their fate? They have made use of the oil in the last centuries. And now, because you have realized how important this thing is, they are now going to do away with it. They have destroyed the climate using this oil, using your coal, because they have what is called coal power plants across Europe, across the West. Across the West. Some of them even have more than 100 coal power plants. United States alone have more than 100 coal power plants that generate electricity for them. They have been using this thing in the last centuries. Now that you have realized that these things are usable and they can be used, or they can actually be used to bring energy without you hustling to find them, because it is all over in Africa. What happens next is that they will begin to do away with it. They will begin to do away with it. And now, opening their eyes so big towards your uranium. And now, having, focusing on your uranium, knowing that maybe they have mined a lot more in their reserve. It is surplus in their reserve. Even oil is surplus in their reserves, but they will never have enough. They will never ever get enough. All these things are surplus in their reserve, but yet they want to do away with so many of those resources. Now I'm telling you, the ones you do not know what it is going to be used for, such as uranium. It is part of the reason why people are actually about to kill themselves in Niger. Uranium. While we are at that, you will now tell me, how are you going to actually find your feet when you continue your sabotage, when you continue your conflict of interest? African leaders, African Union. And the only reason why African leaders are fighting those soldiers that are actually planning, that are doing coup. Number one, some of them are defending them for their Western friends. Some of them are fighting them for their Western friends, rather. Some of them are fighting them because they are so scared that their own military might take the same action if care is not taken. Because they mostly know that themselves, they are very, very faulty in their leadership. They are very, very filthy. They have a big skeleton in their cupboard. All of them. They know. So they know that they have actually provoked their own citizen to an extent that they can no longer trust what could come next to them. That is the reason why they are actually trying to find a way to curb the menace of coup attack or coup taking place in Africa. It is not because they are fighting for the benefit of the people of Africa. It is they are fighting to protect their regime. They are fighting to protect their position, political position. That is the reason why you see them trying to engage here, trying to engage there. Because it is all about them. The whole world revolves around them. Even though most of this military, regardless of whether they are doing it right or not, that the kingdom of God suffers violence, but only the violent take it by force. And it is the violent people that are taking it by force in Africa right now. So, regardless of whether they are taking it by force in a right way or in a wrong way, that is not what they are asking you, because you have been there for a very long time achieving nothing. That is the reason why one of these military leaders came to ask, Africa have everything it takes to be great, to be greatest. And we were the greatest pre-colonialism. We were the greatest kingdom. We had the greatest kingdom in Africa pre-colonialism. The kingdom of Mali. You can, if you don't know any of the, you will understand, remember the kingdom of Mali. you will understand that the kingdom that was built by Haile Selassie, that's why you see in Ethiopia, there is a tribe of Dan in Ethiopia. Tribe of Dan. It is the same tribe that Haile Selassie came from. The tribe of Dan, they call them Ethiopian Jews. So, these things, we had the greatest kingdom in Africa, Kingdom of Solomon. It can never, no kingdom will compete with the Kingdom of Solomon until we discontinued from our heritage. And that heritage, how did we discontinue from our heritage? That heritage we discontinue from is our resources, our blessings that God has planted in our land, because we turn away from African ways. We begin to champion European ways. European decided that they will become our God. We will be their, worshippers. If you cannot worship them and sell your own people for your own selfish aggrandizement, you will never benefit anything from them. And this thing has been going on for quite a long time. How do we navigate it? Nobody is coming into the party. People are playing their individual nations' politics as they actually want it. Now, these young people in the military decided now, we can only achieve this through coup d'etat. Now, people are now gathering. Now, the worst part of it is that they tell you they are trying to combat the menace of coup plotting in Africa. But now, do you know what stands in their way? Their selfish interest is what is standing in their way. As we are speaking about it, be it African Union, be it ECOWAS, it is their own selfish interest that is standing in their way. Now, you want to go and stop the coup that is going on in Niger. In Niger, or in Niger, the real name of that nation is Niger. That is the real name of that nation, Niger, or you call it Niger. So, in Niger, you are actually trying to go there to remove those who are fighting the economic exploitation and economic sabotage that is done on them, that is placed on them, that is cleaved onto them, and it is actually extorting their blood without looking back. They want to actually curb it one way or the other. Since the people who are placed in the position of leadership are being sponsored by their boogeyman, the same boogeyman that is making that place to look like the most poorest place in the world, Niger Republic, but they have uranium. To the extent that Nigeria have to give them fleet of vehicles during the time of impostor in Asari. They give them more. Was it 160 vehicles or 60 vehicles? They gave to Niger when they don't even have vehicle for their police. They don't have enough for their police. So, the question now is African Union coming to actually, take over where they want to actually be the senior proxy for the French people? That is the reason why the day you saw your president-select traveling to France. Is it African France Summit? Is it what they call it, African France Summit or French Summit? He went there. He hugged Macron. He shook Macron. That is the reason why whenever your president-select want to go for medical holiday, he go to Paris. Because he has a very good relationship with Paris. That is the reason why they want to also use Niger to actually nourish their own relationship. That is the reason why they are trying to be the one to engage, to be the leading figure, to stop the whatever the military is doing, the military operation or coup they call it in Niger. My own anger, my own problem is, it is not about what you are going to benefit as a nation of Nigeria from the, engaging in the fight against whoever that is plotting coup in Niger. It is about what him and his cabals are going to benefit from it and the influence they will have in Africa. As a guy man, where him be? As a guy man, Tinubu where him be? The only man that after indicted in America, 7 years after indicted in America, he was given a governor. And he came to tell you that the majority of you did not vote for me. And I become a president now. Just think about it. They will always look for people who are rejected or who are the criminal in their land. Somewhere, one way or the other. Somebody they have a leverage on and they will impose it on you. That's what they do. They look for somebody they have something on, a leverage, something they will use to control him. They will sponsor and do everything to impose it on you. That is the reason why you saw congratulations coming from the US, even from US MPs. Congratulations were coming to a person who opened their mouth, tell you that I know you did not vote for me. Majority of you did not vote for me. Then what are you doing there? Since majority of the people you call your voters did not vote for you, how did you get into the position of that power? Nobody is asking that question. Do you know why nobody is asking that question? Because some people are believing that something good will come out of it. Just like the previous one. Just like the one before the previous one. That you saw. Goodluck Jonathan, you saw him. You didn't see him to be worthy of being in the position of that leadership. You removed him. You removed him. You supported his removal. Which was the angel you know, or the evil you know, which is said to be better than the angel that you have never met. You removed Goodluck Jonathan because you saw him to be bad. He wasn't enough. You placed Buhari. Now you cry for 8 years. Somebody came and imposed themselves on you. Some evil set of people who have the mentality of a black man. It is all about what these people will give me. As in even what is this person is going to shit out to give me that I will hold on to? It doesn't matter what I will receive as long as I will receive something. Some of you are believing that I will get political position. You will be following them, selling your birthright, selling the future of your children. And you believe that that is what is going on right now. It is to secure Niger Republic for France and their counterpart who are benefiting from the uranium. Now, guess what French is writing about Niger Republic? Let me show you what France is writing against the Niger Republic. They say they are cutting their funding. They are cutting their funding. Funding, you are giving them funding from where? Who dash you that fund that you claim you are giving them? For all of you to understand the games that these people playing. Al Jazeera. It is the news is coming from Al Jazeera. The most... Are we kicked out of Facebook? Looks like it. One moment. Why out of right now. Why? So one moment, let me try to looks like they have removed us from Facebook, or damn, I didn't even see that coming. Let me refresh and we go back to Facebook. We continue. I believe we are still live on YouTube, but Facebook is very problematic. Facebook is very problematic. And we are still live on the on Twitter. We are just trying to connect back to Facebook before we proceed. Kindly bear with us to connect back on Facebook. I didn't even see that coming. I didn't see, and the way they just dropped the Facebook as it is, actually, as the numbers are going up, they drop it. It is part of it. It is part of the challenge that we are facing. And we must continue. We are not going back. We must definitely continue. Not going back.
There are two things.
Now we are going back to Facebook. We are going back live to Facebook. All right, we are back live on Facebook. Share the video wherever you are watching from. Share the video. Invite others to join on Facebook. If you are joining us back on Facebook, share this video. Invite others to join. I am about to read the article written by Al Jazeera, by French or by France. That is what we are about to read before they removed us from Facebook. It is part of the biggest challenges that we are facing. Whenever we are trying to move forward, they will drop our bar. They will drop the activities. But we must continue. Don't worry. We are not relenting. We must continue. Share the video on Facebook. While you are joining us back on Facebook, share the video
Plugging them in the zoo.
and invite others to join. Welcome back those of you on Facebook, and welcome others. Invite them and alert them that we are already here again. Let me keep monitoring that Facebook now because I was not monitoring it correct. I know. Let me start monitoring it. So, great and wonderful people, it is it is a pity. It is a pity that those whom we've been looking up to in the name of our leaders, they could not deliver they could not do anything. When the young people or when the ordinary people decided that they want to try to see what they can actually achieve, one way or the other, they will be sabotaged. They will get sabotaged. Just like they are being sabotaged today. Those of you on Facebook, if they actually kick you out again, you go join us on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa. You type Judge Money Blog Africa on YouTube, you will find us there. We were reaching almost 150 on Facebook. They kick us out. It is part of what they are doing. But while you are joining it, share the video, invite others to join. Share the video, invite others to join. Let us proceed. We'll continue from where we stopped. So like I was saying, for those of you who are rejoining us on Facebook, we post it until we bring you back. For you to understand exactly what is going on, it is that France decided that the way to deal with, the only way they can deal with Niger Republic, it's only to cut funding given to Niger Republic. That's the way they decided they want to deal with them, to cut their funding given to them. So who is that? Who is the beneficiaries of these fundings? Where is the money that they are using to give these fundings? Where is it coming from? Where is the money coming from? I don't know if we are shaking on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, Akudrovi, I thank you for coming back. Is the Facebook stable or is it still shaking? Please notify me on Facebook if it is still shaking. If you cannot find us, go to YouTube at Judge Money Blog, because YouTube, I don't think YouTube is having the same problem as Facebook. YouTube has been resolute. So go to YouTube if you cannot find us, on Facebook. If the Facebook is giving us problem, if it's cut again, you join us on YouTube, because I don't know what exactly is making it to be in that way. I don't want it. Okay, you say it's stable. Thank you very much. If you start shaking, please notify me if you can, please. Ferdinand Okeke, thank you very much. So, great people, the most important thing is that when you look at their activities, they are actually bragging and imposing sanctions. We are cutting fundings that is being given to Niger Republic. These fundings that they claim they are cutting from the Niger Republic, where are they getting that money for the funding for? Where did they generate those funds? It is from the uranium that they are taking from Niger Republic. It is what they called, colonial tax. Colonial tax that they are getting from Niger Republic. That is exactly by the reason why where they are actually realizing those funds that they're using to fund Niger Republic, which is the same thing that they have threatened them. Let me read it for you. It is from a reliable source, because it is exactly what happened. This is Al Jazeera. I am not saying that it is a reliable source that tells the truth, but whenever that they promote their own agenda, the Western agenda, they promote it correctly. So it is a reliable source for such, this type of news. So pay very good attention. I am not going to bring it to the screen. The EU, African Union escalate pressure on Niger's coup leaders. EU and France suspend financial aid to Niger Republic, while the AU call on the military to return to their barracks. Did you see whom cut the financial aid? It is European Union and the France. France, I believe, is under European Union, right? But now, specifically, they mentioned her because they know that France is the nation that is leading every exploitation that is going on in Niger Republic because they colonize that place. So they also collecting, colonized, is it colonial tax? They are still collecting it from the Niger Republic. Now let's continue to see the, how African, Union are actually bringing their own agenda towards this coup d'etat. The European Union and France have cut off financial support to Niger, and the United States has threatened to do the same following this week's military coup, as the African Union called on the coup's military leaders to return to their barracks. Now, you have seen the number of the countries that is exploiting this country. The number of nations that is exploiting this country. That is what I actually called out here. Europe, French is the leader. The US is there. And now, that's why they are all giving them financial aid. Now, let me ask all these people who are claiming they are going to cut off the financial aid given to these people. Let me ask them a question. When you go into Niger Republic, does it look like there is a money, free money, that is coming out from somewhere or from Europe and America, which are the angels of the day, who come and give this Niger Republic that people are suffering the way they are suffering from Niger Republic? Have you ever seen anything that looks like intervention of the West coming to liberate this country from poverty? So is it not better you don't have such funding than that you have it? They use it to threaten you just for you to continue to be in your shell without coming out of it. That's exactly what these people are doing. They are threatening it. So they are actually giving that fund, not because of the poor people in that nation. They are giving the fund because of their stooge that they placed there. That's exactly what it looks like. Because this is now the time the poor people in that communities, they need that fund the most. If they are calling such fund humanitarian funds, rather they give it through the NGOs to go in there and make sure that the poor people are actually benefiting from these funds. They will tell you they are threatening to cut it off. Because it has never, that fund is just to bribe their stooge, because they know that these funds will never go to where it should go. That is African, especially in that Saharan region of Africa. Their government, the government that is placed there, the people who make that decision are the people from Europe and America that make a decision of who is going to represent them there. Then they will be bringing this money. That's why if you take your case to United Nations, they will never pay attention to you. If you take such cases to ICC, they will never pay attention to you, to it. Cases of all these things, if you cry from now till tomorrow, go and protest in the United Nations, they will never pay attention to you, because they know that they are not United Nations. They are European or Western nations. They are actually for Western nations. They are not United Nations. No one is united here. Let us actually try to, make peace with it. No one is united. The world is full of exploitation. They tell you it is united, but there is nothing about that. United means that when you hear somebody cry, you come for their aid. Not to come and exacerbate their problem. The things that these people are doing is exacerbating the problem of black child and black woman and black man in Africa. They have never actually sought for a solution they are threatening to cut off a fund that is being a financial aid being given to Niger. If they cut it off, who does it hurt? Does it hurt those who planned the coup? Because they have already sponsored. Does it harm those who are in the government that is out there? These people they are financially buoyant. They are okay. They have mansions abroad all over the place. They have their children settled. So who is going to get hurt? What is the reason why Europe and America are giving this financial aid? Number one, it could be because they don't have a good hospital. They don't have good infrastructure. They don't have the malaria and typhoid is killing people there too much, or HIV also. So these are the places they give their financial aid to. So if they cut it off, it means that they have never had intention of giving it to the people who need it the most. They had intention of using it to make your president a puppet to them. Let us continue to read from Al Jazeera, and then we will, because we have more things to talk about also. Let's continue to read. So, the United States has threatened to do the same following this week to cut their own financial aid to Niger. Following this week military coup, as if it is the people who planned the military coup. Is it the ordinary people that planned the military coup? If ordinary people are involved, it means that whoever that is actually called their president, he's not worthy to be their president because they don't want him. You guys are just imposing him on them. If ordinary people, the poor people on the ground, is supporting what is going on from the upper echelon, it means that they never wanted him. You people impose him on them. That's why they are supporting it. And that is the same reason why you are cutting your financial aid on these people that does not even know what they want anymore. Anything that will stop the suffering anything that looks like it's going to stop their suffering or that is promising to them. Just like you have seen in IPOB, they brought agent provocateur and he is giving them hope, telling them what they want to hear. They say, no, this is where it is happening. Without this man, this struggle must have died because it is what they want to hear. So that is what every African children want to hear. Anything that will look like a hope that will fight their boogeymen. That is what they want to hear. Without even knowing whether it is going to be a solution to their problem. They don't care. As long as it is hurting their boogeyman. They become emotional. So, if they are cutting this financial aid, it means the financial aid has been a scam all this while. All this while it has been a scam. Because if it hasn't been a scam, they will not threaten to cut it off since it is there to benefit people who has never been in the position of power but who are on the receiving end of this economic sabotage and exploitation done on them and even brutality coming from the upper echelon. Now let us continue. The commander of Niger Presidential Guard, General Abdurrahman Tichiani, on Friday declared himself the head of transitional government after his soldier took President Mohamed Bazoum into custody on Wednesday. In addition to the immediate cessation of budget support, all cooperation actions in the domain of security are suspended indefinitely with immediate effect. In addition to immediate cessation of budget support, all cooperation actions in the domain of security are suspended indefinitely with immediate effect. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell said in a statement on Saturday. Are you now paying attention? Who is going to look out there for the common man on the ground there? Who is going to now care for those who they claim they've been caring for? Who? Who? For you to see. We are giving you a financial aid. It is not in your own interest. It is to make your leadership a stooge. It has never been. Anytime you see them, this big world coming to tell you we are giving you a financial support, we are giving you a financial aid, there is something they must have been stealing from you. So they are giving you this to bring their clandestine. They are giving you this to bring their, to come closer. That is for you not to ever think about them exploiting you, because they are giving you free money. That is the reason why it is very, very important to keep reminding them of what President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, said, that Africa is not a beggar. And bringing that beggar things and contextualizing it to this, what is actually playing out here. It means that you have been a beggar all this while. You've been a beggar. That's exactly what it is. They use this charity. Blessed is the hand that giveth than the one that taketh. You continue to take. If you want loan, they give you loan. Because they know that these are for you to be overly indebted to them. It is a manipulation. It is a you will be overly indebted to them. You will believe not necessarily that you are overly indebted. In your own cycle, you will believe that you are overly indebted to these people without knowing that these people need to do a reparation. If they begin to actually check the reparation they need to do on the things they have actually stolen, on the things they have destroyed, on the mind destruction, on the torture they have caused you, on the economic sabotage, the stunted growth they have caused you, believe you me, the reparation they cannot afford. But they are giving you peanuts in the name of financial aid. You are believing they are helping you, without you knowing they are sinking you. If you were a sheep, you will be worse than Titan. Is it Titan? Is it Titan? What do you call it? Whatever it is, that ship that sank into into the ocean. Titanic. They are sinking you like the way the Titanic was sank. In the name they are giving you financial aid. Think again. Now, according to its website, the EU has allocated 503 million euros. Wait, before I read this, let me make sure that we are still there. Yeah, we're still there. According to the website of the EU, the EU has allocated 503 million euros, which is equivalent to $554 million from its budget to improve governance, education, sustainability growth in Niger over the 2001 to 2004 period. Have you seen how they bring it? They call it in that money. They will tell you how much they have given you. They will not tell you how much uranium they have extracted from Niger Republic. Uranium is a place where what they use to manufacture the iPhones, the phones you are using, they use uranium. They use uranium to manufacture nuclear weapons. That is the reason why, if you think about the time Iran was trying to, manufacture their nuclear weapon, it is about trying to, get their uranium, was it uranium, whatever to get to the 100% before they will manufacture nuclear weapon. Uranium they are taking from you is an asset. It is well needed in this era of who is going to be the world power. Uranium is very, very important to them. So this issue of they donated $554 million, it is nothing. Raw materials they take from you, they use it to manufacture so many things. They use it to manufacture so many things. When they talk about depleted uranium, it is a kind of a very, very bad weapon that if they want to use it on you, you should be scared during a war. All these things are being manufactured through uranium that they are extracting from Africa, Congo, Niger Republic, Nigeria, among others. Now, from 2021 to 2024, have you ever asked yourself, why, if they have invested such money in education, if they have invested such money, if you go to Niger Republic, it is still looking the same way it has been. Nothing has changed. They claim they bring this money to invest in these people without ever following it up to see if this money that was invested is being used for what it is supposed to be used for. They are giving it in the name of that. But in the real sense, they are giving it to buy the conscience of who you call your first citizen, so that they will become their stooge, while they, their proxy, it is I will call it a proxy leader. They are destroying you, benefiting the people who give him financial aid. That's what it is. The whole nation is going to be suffering because of that. Now, let's continue. Borrell's statement also said Bazoum remains the only legitimate president of Niger and called for his immediate release and for holding the coup leaders to account for the safety of the president and his family. Their stooge. He is more important than the people of Niger Republic. They are not talking about the people of Niger Republic. They are only talking about their president. What will be the fate of those Niger Republicans? What will be the fate of those niggers in Niger Republic? They are not talking about that. They are talking about one man. Yet they claim they're giving funding to elevate those people from poverty, but they don't even put them in their own budget while trying to budget or claiming that they are budgeting for the safety or for the benefit of people of Niger Republic. Now, Borrell said the EU was ready to support future decisions taken by West Africa region bloc, including the adoption of sanctions. Now, let us see if EU, if they will say something about African Union, because we are trying to derive something out of this. We are trying to extract something out of this. The French foreign minister said French had suspended all development aid and budget support with immediate effect. Why would they not stop them? Not like they've been giving it all along. Demanding a prompt return to constitutional order with Bazoum back in charge. French development aid for Niger was at approximately 120 million euros, which is approximately to $130 million in 2022, and was expected to be slightly higher this year. Did you hear that? Was expected to be slightly higher this year. One Obioma, the philanthropist. you are giving them financial aid for what? This financial aid you claim you are giving them, where do you find it in the ordinary people of Niger Republic? Where do you find them in them? You can never. You will never find it in them. We are looking for something. How they will address African Union? Because they have addressed ECOWAS. They have addressed and recognized the effort of ECOWAS. Let's continue, because I'm looking for something that we will use to nail this. Now, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the very significant assistance that we have in place for people in Niger is clearly in jeopardy. This is a promise you make to your girlfriend on the bed when you are about to. You see, the way they use the brain of African people, they said, let me read it again for you to see. They think that we are monkeys. They believe we are monkeys. That's what they believe. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the very significant assistance that we have in place for people in Niger is clearly in jeopardy. It's clearly in jeopardy. So, it is not actually assistance. It is buying your way into stealing their lives away. That is exactly what you had for them. It is not assistance, because if it was assistance, you'll be first of all thinking about those who are suffering, including the coup d'etat. It is affecting those on the ground. Those are the first people you'll be thinking about, not thinking about those who are in position of power there, who have never elevated that country from poverty, but there is something you guys are looking for there, seriously. You are looking for their uranium, seriously, at all costs. So when you say you are giving them, financial aid, it is a sham. It is a fraud. It doesn't exist. You are buying their things, taking it for free, and giving them, coming to act like they are beggars. They are feeding on you guys. No wonder. That's why they have never had economic growth. They tell you every African country they are giving you financial aid. Beggars, as we are. Earlier, the United States top diplomat also offered his unflagging support to Niger's overthrown leader. Everything is all about overthrown leader. Everything is all about the leader. What about the people? What about the people? Blinken told Bazoum in a phone call that Washington would work to re-establish the constitutional order after his toppling in the coup, the Department of State said on Friday. Blinken also praised Bazoum's role in promoting security not only in Niger, but the wider West African region. Now it is obvious that Bazoum is a stooge to these people. Blinken comments came after he told Bazoum earlier in the week that Washington's support of landlocked African nation would depend on its democratic governance and the respect for the rule of law and human rights. Wow. They are calling Niger to respect the rule of law and human rights. Wow. So the rule of law and human rights is when it affects their president, which is your remote, the one you use remote to control. That whenever it affects their president, it means that it is toppling on human rights activities. But when it affects ordinary people, it is going to actually expose. The reason why I am reading this, I am reading it in order to expose the mindset, the plans, and the tactics that these people, or rather the formation, they are using to deal with us. In the name, they are actually promoting human rights. Human rights is all about promoting that person like Tinubu, who knows that majority of you did not vote for him. yet he's in the position of power. That is exactly what these people are actually confessing here. But they don't know we will understand it because they believe that we are weak in the mind. That is the reason why they will come to say such things without even blinking. Listen. Blinking comments came after he told Bazoum earlier this week that Washington's support of landlocked African nation would depend on its democratic governance and respect for the rule of law and human rights. Landlocked. You see the way they made it like with in inverted comma. Landlocked. Democratic in an inverted comma. You see the way they actually brought it and they now narrated the story in a way that Niger people should know that they are nothing. They don't have sea. They don't have anything. They don't have access. That this is a threat. I don't know if they are trying to remove us from Facebook again. I hope we are still there. I hope we are still there. If the numbers growth is going to affect this Facebook again, please, before they remove us, we are live on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa. If they remove you on Facebook, you join us on YouTube, Judge Money Blog Africa. If they drop this Facebook again, because I feel like, I don't know. So they claim that they're telling you in advance that the land is landlocked. That the land of Niger is landlocked. So that the military that are inside Niger, they will have in mind that the land where you are at is landlocked. So you people are wasting your time. It is better you come and start collecting. It is better you come and start collecting maybe this financial aid we are giving you for free. Instead of staying in landlocked land, and now we are going to actually, provoke other people to turn against you, then you will be isolated in your landlocked area. This is the type of threat I am seeing that I'm reading out. I'm not reading what is written there, but I'm telling you exactly what I have seen in what I am reading here. It is a threat. And this is what they will always use to threaten us. Now you will remember those Biafrans. Biafrans, you will remember when they start telling you that your land is landlocked. Your land is landlocked. If landlocked is a problem of a nation, why is Dubai trying to build or develop what do you call this place where there is no water? A desert. Why would Dubai try to develop a desert? But they are using landlocked to threaten people here. But Dubai is developing a desert. It is because there is no political will. There has never been in the position of politics that we Africans are playing amongst ourselves. There has never been a political will to actually introduce or innovate something that will be beneficial to the people that you are governing. If there has been a political will to introduce or actually promote anything in your land that you are governing, other than trying to get financial aid and you relax, and some people just like Nigeria President Emeritus, his media aid advisor, Femi Adesina, come publicly, proudly to tell you it is not the duty of a government to create employment. Rather, they have to create enabling environment in order for people to come and give them employment. So this is what is planted in the mind of these leaders. What if there is nobody coming in to give you employment? What about it? It will not be your duty. What if you claim you create enabling environment according to your own knowledge, and it is not enabling to those people who are supposed to come and give you employment? And then what? You leave people unemployed. You will be living on the money that people owns, claiming that it is not your duty. And you will be dependent on the financial aid coming from the West. giving you for free, because it will never get to the hands of those innocent people, those people who needed it the most. They will be siphoned. They will be given hand to hand, shared among hands. If you will understand when your parents will come out and your parents will say, when your parents will actually come out to say, they are coming out back from the market, you will be very happy, because you know that something is definitely going to come out from the bag of mommy, because he bought something nice from the market. That is exactly maybe if this financial aid is coming every year, whenever it is time it is going to come, you will hear they are going to American African Summit, or you will hear they are going to this program, that program. They will go and as in they will be singing, "Mommy is back, oh yo yo, mommy is back, oh yo yo." A kind of that. That is exactly what I am seeing that these people are doing whenever the financial aid is around the corner. They will no longer remember that there is a resources coming out of their land that they can use to make such money in 100-folds. They don't remember it. They don't even think about it. All they will always think about, it is all about bring that money now. Let us make use of it right now that we can. While the people who are giving you that money, you think they are stupid. Imagine if you believe they are stupid giving you this money as a leader, it means that you are the most stupid person on earth. Because these people that are giving you this money, let's talk about United States. United States debt is more than $500 trillion, right? I might not know exactly the figure, but I know it is towards that, figure. I know it is more than $200 trillion. They are debt, but they are giving you $500 million for free. You think they are really stupid? China is now around the corner. They will also give you. You open your hands, you are taking. Every time it is all about they give you, you take. They give you, you take. Why is it always give you, you take? Why can't you ever try to give them? Tell them stop coming to our country. If you want to make use of our uranium, bring that your workers, let them manufacture, let them bring those industries back here, and we negotiate a price that is going to be beneficial to you and my people, that they will get employment from the usage of this our uranium that you are exploiting. Bring your machineries here, bring that factory here, bring that industry here. It will enable my people to get employment, instead of no, you extract it, you go do the finished product. When you ask them how much is you want to buy a shell or you want to buy super tokeno, they will tell you the original price, but they extracted your raw materials to build these things. They extracted your raw materials to build this thing. Without your raw materials, they will never build nothing. They will be selling it. They will be the weapon manufacturer of the world, the leading figure. If they want, they go and cause problem. You are going to buy their weapon. Even if they bring $100 billion and give you for free, they know how to return it. They know how to take it back. There is nothing you can do. That is the reason why we are fighting the status quo. That is the reason why those young people believe that it is through the military coup, the true coup d'etat, that they will only use to get their voice to be heard. And they are doing it. I might not condone it. I might not, criticize it. But at the end of the day, that is what they think they are going to do to elevate themselves from this economic sabotage that is going on in Africa. African leaders are there behind the microphone shouting. Behind the microphone shouting. Instead of taking action, they are shouting behind the mic. So the people who believe that they have action, they have taken their action. People are now crying. People are now coming out to act like we want to actually help you. We are ECOWAS, and the other ones we are United African Union. We are United Nation. We are European Union. Now you cannot do this coup. It is against the principle of democracy. The democracy that make us to give you a financial aid. It is against that principle. If you continue, we cut off that aid because we are giving you this aid because you are championing the kind of democracy that exploit you and elevate us. That's exactly indirectly what you are being told. That is the reason why from the inception of these African leaders started talking and becoming vocal about the economic exploitation and sabotage that is being done against Africa. And I told you that some of them are saying it for the sake of their selfish aggrandizement. When it comes to the time that you need to unify yourselves, you need to actually speak in one voice and one mind in order to kill and destroy imperialist power that is cleaved unto you, that discontinued you from your heritage. You will never speak. You will never do action. You will continue to talk. That's why I actually say Pan-African movement that is talking about every day about how we are going to bring one Africa, one currency, one this. I say to you, it is not actually the case. Unification of Africa is impossible. Number one, they are tribalistic in nature. They are tribalistic in nature. The main thing, the only thing you can do is trying to destabilize the status quo post-colonialism. That thing that was established post-colonialism, the thing that is actually eating deep, that is cutting us deep. Those things are the things we must focus on. We must find a way to focus on it and try to destroy it. Just like we are fighting for the freedom of Biafra. Because Biafra freedom is going to destroy the status quo of Britain. The status quo that Britain led in Nigeria from 1914 amalgamation by Lord and Frederick Lugard and his girlfriend Flora Shaw. They are the innovator of what Nigeria as a nation is today. That is the only way you will be able to tackle such things without trying to find a way to get away from coup d'etat. If you cannot destroy those creation and those, policies that it's been made and championed by the big world that, makes them to see you as a beggar. If they want to exploit, 500 or 950 trillion dollars from you, they will first of all give you $100 million as a gift. They give you $100 million as a gift. You say, no, they have given me a lot. These people are generous. You bring them close. They will exploit 950 trillion. They buy it for $100 million. Can you imagine that? You are shooting yourself in the leg because of the greedy people you call your leaders in the African continent. And the earlier we understand this, the better for us. Let me finalize it, then I will tell you, because I'm still looking for African Union. What they will say about African Union, so that we will know how infiltrated African Union is. That's what I'm looking for here. In an address on the state television on Friday, the 62, I think, let me go back a little bit so that we will know where we stop. Blinking comments came after he told Bazoum earlier in this week that Washington's support of landlocked African nation would depend on its democratic governance and respect for the rule of law and human rights. This same rule of law and human rights is what is being violated in Nigeria, neighboring Niger Republic. Niger is a small place, so they call it landlocked because Nigeria covered it. They call it landlocked. It is a small place. They are recognizing and promoting, according to them, they are promoting human rights activities. But in Nigeria, 2020, we all saw it. NSAS protest. Military came in. They shot people at like animals. They denied it. Even the things that was videoed and recorded live, there was Instagram live that you could not even say that people were just, depicting or, doing deep fake in order to lie about it. These things were social media live. It is like when I am in a live program speaking to you, I will say, no, it is my robot that is speaking to you. That's exactly what the Nigerians actually played in that game. They killed more than 100 people. Open fire at peaceful Nigerian protesters. That is protesting against the human rights violation, against police brutality, organ harvestation, extortion, just like they know Ike Ekweremadu. It is nothing for them to harvest anybody's organ. Nigerians go out to protest. You are not actually talking about the human rights violation. American embassy is in Nigeria. British envoy or convoy is in Nigeria, led by Catriona Lang for over 5 years. She never reported anything. I don't know who is there now. She will be watching all this police brutality, army brutality. Every forces in Nigeria, they are brutalizing people, toppling on their human rights. Nobody has ever talked about it. But now Niger, just because the president there is your puppet, that's why you value his life more than the life of the citizens. Because when these bullets start raining, the citizens are going to be running helter-skelter. Who is going to give them shelter? You don't talk about them. What a world we are living in. A world where the minority life is very, very much important than the majority life. A world where there is not equality in the eyes of the law. In an address on state television on Friday, the 62-year-old General T. Chiani said he had taken control of government to prevent the gradual and inevitable demise of the country. Did you see the reason why the 62-year-old decided that he would take over the country? He said to prevent the gradual and inevitable demise of the country. Because when they finish harvest your uranium, when they finish actually mine your uranium, they will leave you there. Make holes. If the uranium, make holes everywhere. They make holes everywhere. From there, you will start having Dolomite Road. Dolomite Road. These are the things that these people does not understand. You don't even understand the effect of this, mining of resources, such as gold, such as diamond. Those resources that are coming out of the soil. The way they are using machine, digging, exploding the ground, it can cause earthquake in future. It can. We are not thinking about it. They just come and mine and go. Because this is the place where we do these things. And we do it the date here. We take it back to our place. We bring it, refine it, and bring finished product. And we impose it on you because you have no choice. You are not innovative. You are not industrious. You don't have foresight. You don't know how to negotiate. You don't know nothing. These people, they will just, before they bring it back, they will give you a funding of 100 million. And they will tell you now, this is 300 trillion. You buy. You have no choice. Now, return to barracks. The African Union also demanded the military in Niger. Okay, African Union comes in here. Return to their barrack and restore constitutional authority within 15 days since it grabbed power. That is the role of African Union, and that's what we know that they said. The AU Peace and Security Council demand the military personnel to immediately and unconditionally return to their barracks and restore constitutional authority within a maximum period of 15 days. It is said in a communique following a meeting Friday on the Niger coup. Okay, return to barracks. Now, let me be honest with you here. Let me come into the ECOWAS activities and their return to barracks order. Not ECOWAS, is it AU, African Union, rather. Let us come into African Union initiative of returning to barracks. African Union, they are there seeing the first atrocity it happened. They didn't do anything. African Union, they are there seeing the second coup. According to them, it is atrocity. Coup, they didn't do anything. The third one, they never did anything. This one, they are doing something. The war in South Sudan is still there. There has never been any intervention or any resolution to come up, and solve the problem. African Union does not know how to negotiate. Because what is pushing now, you know what the West is pushing now? The West is pushing for Africa to start burning, you people to start fighting each other. When you people are fighting each other, just like they have instigated, now you will not have any choice. Since you don't want to align with the West anymore, you want to align with China and Eastern Europe or Russia. So they want to now bring all your heads and collide it. Go! All the heads of Africa, leaders, because they know that many of them, they control them. To hit it both on each other, go! Then you start fighting. But God works in mysterious way. Keep taking yourselves towards that path. When you start fighting, when you declare those fights, you will find out that this land that you people are fighting, it will no longer be the grass that will suffer it. It will be those two elephants that is fighting that will suffer it. Because you will be fighting there. You will be fighting there. And that is when you will not know the minds of the people like us on the ground. You will not know the mind of people like us on the ground. And if it takes your fighting to destroy the status quo that was given to you, or that was initiated by the neo-colonialism, or that was initiated by colonialists, so be it though. Since you people don't listen, you people don't have foresight, you cannot actually understand the atmosphere or read the room. You people are warmongers. You people are money mongers. Continue. Because if African Union want to do the job as people who care, or even ECOWAS want to do the job as people who care, can I tell you what they're supposed to do? African Union were supposed to actually find a way to communicate with the coup leader. What exactly derived this course that you are pursuing? Because this is their own self-determination. What is deriving this course that you are pursuing? Supposed to call the first coup people, the first people who did the coup. Ask them, what are you doing? What is the reason why you are doing this? How do we come in and resolve this problem that you people faced for you that led to this coup? They did not do it. They will be on sideline. looking for their selfish interest. Individual leaders looking for their selfish interest. Another one happened. Another one strike. They are not actually trying to negotiate or call for a round table meeting. Just like you have seen, the people of Amazonia, they have been fighting for their self-determination for a very long time. No one is calling them to the table to have a dialogue. No one. And nobody, every African leaders act as if they don't see it. Likewise, people of Biafra, since 1967, more than 50 years ago, we started fighting for the restoration of Biafra because we were a nation pre-colonialism. And Nigeria was not created by anybody amongst those people amalgamated. It was created by the colonial master. A white man from Europe came and created Nigeria, initiated something called Nigeria, and everybody started living together. And there has never been economic growth or peace or development in that place because it is not a black man's initiative. It is not God's initiative. How do you want me to continue to live on a white man's agenda when I have a whole lot of agenda of mine that I can implement, that I can actually catapult or elevate us to a better future, a better position, building a better Dubai, because we have more than what they have in Africa. If you have a better Dubai in Africa, it is not going to give you a running stomach. It will not give you a running stomach. If you have a better United States, a better USA in Africa, it will not give you a running stomach, a purge. But the people that found themselves that were integrated post-colonialism, that were integrated into this position of leadership, they are still the same people. They continue to actually, they move. When this person goes, they are another people. They build their own children. From their own children, it goes from hand to hand. That is the reason why you see a president in Cameroon for over 40 years. He is leading them from France. That is the reason why you see all this nonchalant act of leaders in Africa. Because the people that placed them in the position of leadership, they were selected species placed in the position of leadership, that what they continue doing, it is about them continuously exploiting the nation, enriching themselves. I know there are some African leaders that are actually doing their best, but there is always a Western sabotage, one way or the other, that is toppling on their best. But they can do better. It is better they start talking. If they don't start talking, they will never do, people that they are following will never know where to help. Because whenever they are made a leader, they see themselves as supreme, nation. There are nations that who understand and respect the rule of law and democracy, and they respect human rights, the right of their own people in Africa. There are nations like that. There are nations like that. But there are, how many are they? I don't even know if they are up to 3. I'm not sure if they are up to 3. And South Africa is one of them. South Africa is one of them. At least, if not for the foreign people there, they respect it for their own people. That is the most important thing. They respect it for their own people. How many of these leaders are respecting it for their own people? In Nigeria, they can never respect it even for their own people. They rather respect it for other people. And it is the fact. That's why when they steal money from Nigeria, they will run outside there. They will go and buy mansion in Dubai, buy mansion in America, buy mansion in UK, France. Put money in their offshores. These people are seeing this. They don't know what, they will not see it as a money laundering. Because they are buying the stolen goods of Africa. They buy the stolen goods of Africa. Chinese is close, around the corner, buying the stolen goods of Africa. Find a way to bring money to some African greedy leaders. Once they bring money, these leaders, they capitulate, because that is the fiat money. They don't know the value of, resources. They know the value of fiat money. That is tissue paper. That fluctuates. That's the only thing they value, the fiat money. Now let us continue. The reason why I said what I said now is for you to understand that African Union, they have never sat around the table to dialogue with agitating groups in different nations, because there will never be a smoke without fire, or there will never be a fire without smoke. Any fire comes with smoke, smoke comes with fire. So, when that fire was raging, or that smoke was actually starting, are they not supposed to be proactive to find a way to say, come to the round table? How do we do this? Then the young military people who knows what is going on and don't want their children to be impoverished, just like they have seen all their lives, even serving in the military, they decided, no, we have to change this thing for our future. Now we are still carrying gun in this nation, because it is only through gun and bullet you fight your way out. Now they decided to go ahead and carry out the plan, and they will now be reactive. You are commanding you. I am command. Do you think you will just command somebody who woke up and plan a coup, and knowing that their life is in danger? If they fail, and you are commanding them, go to your barracks, go to this, go to that, who do you think you people are fooling? If I may ask, who are you fooling? There is a fight going on in Cameroon. There is agitation going on in Nigeria. There was a war in Nigeria, 1967, for the sake of the same agitation. How many times has African Union ever actually find a way to say, if Nigeria leader is not going to actually listen because of their pomposity, they believe they are giant of Africa, they are senior brother for nothing. Why don't you engage the agitating group, so that when these things happen, you will know how to come in? Not you will be acting absent-minded. You will be acting you don't care. When it happens, we are commanding you to go back to barracks. We are commanding you now to stop what you are doing. In my own mind, I would say screw all of you. If I was those military, I would say screw you. Because African leaders are positioned to be reactive, or African Union, or any fraternity in Africa. It is positioned to be proactive, reactive, including your police, reactive, your army, reactive, your intelligence, reactive, instead of being proactive. There has never been intelligence in Africa. That's why the exploitation continued to come. Because when there was intelligence, those people like Thomas Sankara, Maman Gaddafi, they actually started to act, to expose all this atrocious behavior coming off from these people. and you had them killed, it is the same you people that allowed them to get killed. That's why Bob Marley also asked you, how long shall they kill our prophet while we stand aside and look? You stand and watch. They continue to kill your prophet. You act as if it does not concern you. Do you think such people who watch you, whom you see, or whom you see killing your own people, and you stand aside looking, acting that no, it does not concern me because it is not your immediate family, you don't know it will touch you. You see police brutality on me, and you say, no, this person is not from here. This police brutality must brutalize him. He is not from here. Tomorrow it will come to you. When I am no longer there for them to brutalize me, they will brutalize you. That's the way it is. If you see evil happening, you don't want to call it evil. It will come to you eventually, and it will destroy you. That's the way it is. Law of nature. Let me continue. So African leaders must come to learn how to, dialogue, come to round table. They are African Union, for goodness sake. They can actually see the report, because there are many agitating groups. We are talking, each time we tweet, we tag African Union, we tag fraternities, we tag foreign ministries. Some of them, you write to them, they will act like they don't hear it. But when something happens, they will come out and act like, we care, and we want to make things, we want to do things this way, that way. You cannot deceive this generation. This generation this generation is the 4th generation. Let me leak this secret to you Africans and your Western counterpart. This generation of Africa you see, they are 4th generation. And the curse is upon the 3rd and the 4th generation. And we are our parents were the last generation of the curse. We are going to fall into the forgiving generation. And we are opening, our eyes is open. Because we discontinuing from our heritage, it is a curse. But now we have realized that we need to go back to our heritage. And our heritage is to going back to the drawing board. Pre-colonialism. That is our heritage. We embrace it. We walk the way our ancestors walked. And they had the greatest kingdom. King Solomon is my ancestor. He had the greatest kingdom. King Solomon. He had the greatest kingdom. How did he make it? He was a black man. How did he make it? He had how many wives? And how many concubines? Because he had it all. They envied it. They envied it. They saw our greatness. If a fruit that is on a tree is not ripe and, attractive, you will not throw a stone for that fruit to fall. They claim that Africa was in darkness when they came. What then actually lured them to Africa? What attracts them to, what actually brought the attraction of them coming to Africa? If Africa was indeed in darkness, it was the lifestyle we were living. Everybody was on their own, minding their businesses, doing trade by barter. There is nothing like 6 to 6. There is nothing like your economy is growing. Somebody is deciding what your economy look like. Somebody is telling you how much you are going to sell your meal. Somebody is telling you how much you're going to sell your cassava. Somebody is telling you how much you are going to sell your oil. How much you is going to sell your vegetable oil. When you are the one who produced it, you know how much it cost you and how much you're supposed to sell it. We were not regulated like this in order to be controlled. We were a free nation. We are dying so young these days. As a result of all this regulation, mechanized things, everything is mechanized and destroyed. We were not hungry. And so many of you who will think that Africa was in darkness, or Africa was only traveling with the camel and all these things. A time will come. The world is about to reset. Those camels, you will not afford it anymore. Those things you call the old things. Time will come, you will not afford it anymore. As the climate continue to get sick, once they finish your oil, make use of your oil and integrate into a new resources, they tell you oil use is no longer needed in this world because the climate is critically sick. You are going into greener energy. They now know that they have to take your uranium. They have to take your natural gas. They have to take many things. New things. By the time you realize how those things are used or utilized to do a finished product, you know what you're going to do? They will change it to another thing. They will tell you now it is now time for us to go back to horse riding. The world is very sick. Then the horse will now be coming $1 million. A horse. Because you don't have animal farming. You don't even have a mechanized farming in order to produce more horses. So it is coming. Those things you believe that they are not, that are nothing, you undermine. When the world resets, those things you say Africa is like that before, you will find that that is the things that are going to be very expensive. Global recession. It takes you to global recession. So many of you will not see it coming. But we can see it. Because you people, in the name of leaders of Africa, you are chasing after a shadow. They are donating money to you. You are not a beggar indeed. But you make yourself a beggar. Blessed is the hand that giveth than the hand that taketh. Because when you are being given, you are releasing you are actually forfeiting your authority. You are granting them autonomy over you. That's why you are receiving. Thank you. You bow down. Thank you. But when you are giving, you are actually, taking authority of that person. Somehow making them your subject. That is the blessing that is with the hands that giveth than the one that taketh. That is it. They give you. Only to come in and take it in 100-folds. Let's continue to read. African Union, if you have ear, hear it. Biafra must be restored. We are calling for referendum in Nigeria. People in the likes of ex-governor of Ebonyi State saying that Ebonyi State are not Biafra. You are only representing one vote during referendum. We are not calling for anything. We are calling for referendum in order so that we will be able to go back to where we are. Our route to continue in our heritage that we have left behind all these years. To build Africa that is going to challenge the big world. We have the capacity. 1967, we manufactured weapon of war that we use to hold on to Nigeria. In Aba, in Biafra land today, bring anything that you see, be it shoe, be it anything, they will manufacture the fake, they will refurbish it and give it to you. Bring anything to Aba, they refurbish it and give it to you. Why can't we actually, support these people? Why can't we have our own independent and our own nation where we will be able to support this person, nurture their talent, bring it to the higher scale that the whole world will be coming to buy from us? Chinese are not more intelligent than Biafra. Regardless of so many of them who are even carried the reason why you see an infiltrator will come and confuse the minds of Biafrans, it is only as a result of young people stop following politics. Young people does not follow politics without knowing that politics is what actually make the world go round. Politics is the world is all about politics today. So you need to know that politics in order to know when it is being played against you. Africa does not know politics. That's one of the problems that Africa have. Your young people, you don't know politics. You don't want to engage in politics. Then you will be on the side. You hear say they say. All about you is hear say they say. You don't understand it. Some of you are emotional. Once you hear something, you start reacting to it without knowing the authenticity of that or the reason why that thing is made available. That's why there is intelligent analysis. Those who analyze those things. And that is the reason why I'm doing it here. And telling you the politics behind it. Because I happen to know politics. The evil and the, how we can actually use the same politics to navigate our way through to our freedom. That's exactly what we are displaying. Let's continue to read. The group said it condemned in the strongest terms possible the overthrow of the elected government and expressed deep concern over the alarming alarming resurgence of military coups in Africa. Express concern. AU expressed concern being reactive instead of being proactive. Tichiani previously led the resistance to a failed coup in March 2021 when troops tried to take over the presidential palace days before the swearing in of the then newly elected Bazoum. Listen, did you hear what he says there? These people tried in 2021. African Union did not see it to call for a roundtable to see how they will resolve their problem. If it is to call on France and tell France, leave these people alone or leave Africa alone, African Union supposed to have the capacity to say so. To gather together and say so, no, we don't want you people here. We are going to actually remove everything that is making you people to come here and collect tax. It is time for reparation. Is it not your country, for goodness sake? You chase them. If you cannot do it by yourself, your people on the ground, you instigate them to do it for you. If I must tell you everything, you instigate the people on the ground to do it for you. The same way some leaders in Africa are instigating the people on the ground to go and fight wrong people, to go and fight wrong fight, telling them it is their problem. No. You instigate them to do the good cause that will benefit the whole nation. Not to you instigate them to go and do things that will be beneficial to your political party. No. It is not done. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. Now, let's continue. The pro-West Bazoum's election marked the first peaceful transfer of power since Niger gained independence from France in 1960. Oh, they gained independence from France the same year Nigeria gained independence, 1960. Wow. Niger, which borders 7 African countries, including Libya, Chad, Nigeria, is seen by the US and former colonial ruler France as an important partner to address security threats in the region. Now, when they say Niger, this Niger they're talking about, it is not about the people. It is not the people, because you see the activities of the people, even to the extent of the people going to burn the embassy of France. So it is not Niger people. This is Niger leaders, cabals, that is actually answerable to France and the US. They are the people who are actually finding a way to call for US and France to come and destroy their country for them in order to give it to him back. That is exactly what he's calling for. Bring military, let them come and rain bullet, destroy the country, kill my people. I mean, as long as they give me back my power, I will continue to collect your gift and I will continue to sell the country to you. That's exactly what is going on here. The country is the largest recipient of US military assistance in West Africa, having received an estimated $500 million in assistance to the country since 2012. Where is it? Where is it? The country also hosts more than 2,000 Western troops. More than 2,000 Western troops, and it happens this way. More than 2,000 Western troops, hosting them for what? To protect the uranium that is there. What else? They are hosting them to protect their uranium, the Western uranium that is seen in the land of Niger Republic. That's why they are being hosted. Is there any other way or reason they will be hosted? The country is the largest recipient of US military. Okay, the country also hosts more than 2,000 Western troops. That is the last report, how the report came from Al Jazeera. And it is very, very necessary for us to understand that we are on our own. Ordinary people that is not into politics, you are on your own. You must learn that politics. You must understand that politics in order to know how you will use counter politics to actually nullify the activities of your politicians, because they are playing a very dangerous game. Because when they provoke you to do what you don't know how to do, or when they provoke you to do the things that you feel that you can do to elevate yourself from poverty or mind slavery, I think it is going to be bloody. And no one is praying for that. Because of their selfish aggrandizement, they might push you to do such one day. So, we are done now here with African Union. Let us now go to the state of a nation, because we will continue to monitor to see exactly what will come out of all this shenanigan happening all over the place in this African Union and ECOWAS. Because, like I said, the ECOWAS are actually there for what they are going to benefit from their Western counterpart. That is they are going to protect their uranium. While African Union is also there, I don't know what exactly they are there for. I have not understood, because if they want to be there, they're supposed to be there from 2021 when the coup attempt failed, to dialogue with these two groups to make sure that they bring peace and tranquility in that region. But they couldn't do that because maybe there is nothing to benefit from doing it. Now, it has happened. People in African Union, their Western counterpart, the Western people who have friends in the West will be pushing their agenda through those people in African Union. People who have friends from the East or Global South or Eastern Europe, they will be pushing their agenda in African Union on who, and pushing those who will actually, give their work for in their own favor in that regard as well. Because it is not about the people. It is about their own selfish aggrandizement. And it is not necessarily about the nation. Rather, it is about those who controls the nation. Now, let us go to, there is something I see Pardon me for continuously bringing this video up because I don't know, I didn't label them. There is a state of a nation. Let me see how much time we have spent here. Let's see how much time we have spent here so that we will know if we will continue or actually do a rejoinder tomorrow. We've been here for 2 hours. Let us actually talk on that state of a nation address. Maybe we will, this Asari Dokubo matter. Or let me talk about Asari Dokubo. The state of a nation address, I will address it tomorrow. There is this man called Asari Dokubo here, whom I know majority of you did not vote for me, is using to run a mafia state. And that man is this guy right here in the right hand side of the screen, who is wearing a glass and raising his head up. Now, this man has been threatening people, threatening tribes in Nigeria because he is a friend to the man who said, I know majority of you did not vote for me. And he's been moving around, he's been going around threatening people, including threatening a sitting governor because he's a friend of a president. He was a militant group, militant leader. He was a militant leader. But today he is working with the president. If you heard what he said inside the presidential villa, he was giving auditorium platform to address Nigeria, a militant leader who carried gun against the state. And today the state is using him as a thug, running a mafia state. He come to tell you that there is a secret war going on in Nigeria, and he is a participant in that war. The criminals that was caught in Biafra land yesterday, some of them are his own people. The criminal that are enforcing sit at home are his own people. For you to know the games that these people are playing, it is all about to destroy Biafra land. And that is the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu continuously telling us that Biafra land must be calm. Biafra land must be calm. Because he could fathom exactly what the plans of the enemy is against our people. Somebody will be there gingering it, calling for this violence against our people, violent crime against our people, while people also will now be coming in sending military. Asari Dokubo, who is also working with the same people that are calling sit at home, they will be deploying criminals as well to come into our land, killing innocent people. Asari Dokubo is untouchable, is seen to be untouchable in Nigeria. But to my greatest surprise, there is a video I am going to show you, but that will be tomorrow, about these infiltrators, so that you will know exactly that whenever they go to meet governors, each time they go to meet the governors, if it fails, they start enforcing sit at home in their land. I am going to show you the evidence from the time Soludo came to the office. I will show you tomorrow. That is not going to happen now because I don't have much time to play it now. Let me see. There is a video I want to show you now. It is a video of Asari Dokubo after threatening the governor of Rivers State. He wants to threaten the governor of Rivers State to succumb to Asari Dokubo's policies. Then the governor of Rivers State now return the favor. Asari Dokubo is coming out now to cry. Listen attentively to this video. I am not going to bring it. I don't have it on I think I only have it. I did not download it, so I will play it direct to from the page.
Are we in the military? It is the same right that the governor has that I have. State authority did not give the governor the right to order for my death.
Who give the governor the right to order for Asari Dokubo's death? Asari Dokubo have actually, crossed or overstepped his boundary that the governor ordered for his head. That is the reason why he is coming out to cry. He is coming out to cry. When he is doing gara gara gara, the state cannot do me anything. During the time of Goodluck Jonathan, who is his immediate brother, not immediate brother, his tribal man, a Biafra like him, he threatened them that if he get arrested, this will happen. That's why he is trying to intimidate the Rivers State governor. But the Rivers State governor now showed him there is a difference between governor and a militant. That he does not play the game. Maybe that the same game that I know majority of you did not vote for me is playing in Asari by bringing a militant to come and speak and address Nigerians inside the presidential villa. What a mess. Listen.
Order for my death. Because if the law cannot protect the citizen, they have the right to resort to self-help.
Hey, Asari Dokubo has quoted a law that I've been quoting for you here. If law cannot protect a citizen, they have the right to resolve to self-help. Did you see that? Who does it exonerate? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who love his people so much, whom they have promised heaven on earth. He refused. They decided to rendition him and place him in a solitary confinement because they could not. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu saw that terrorism in Nigeria is sponsored by the government itself, that is the reason why he decided to invent a security outfit through the support of IPOB. Invented a security outfit that is going to protect our people from the menace of terrorist attacks. Immediately when he did that, they know it is bad business for Nigeria. Nigeria saw that how efficient, how trustworthy, how these people committed they were, the Eastern Security Network, they stopped terrorism in Biafra land. They decided, no, it is not a good business for the government people who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. They went to Kenya with the help of their British counterpart because they know very much well that the British will not allow this extraordinary rendition or extradite Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because right to self-determination is not a crime. And if you cannot get help, it resolves to self-help because you have a right to life. Self-defense is not a crime. That is the same law Asari Dokubo has quoted to Nigeria today. But a lot of us might not understand exactly how Asari Dokubo has contradicted himself. Asari Dokubo brandished gun in threatening Ndibo. He brandished gun and threatened Ndibo. Asari Dokubo did.
There is a video
so, Asari Dokubo, since you brandished gun to threaten Ndibo, so if Ndibo brandished gun against you, what do you call it? you resolve to self-help, because you've been, ever since you brandish gun, come to the social media threatening Igbo, you've been trooping your criminals into Biafra land, Ijo people, into Biafra land, into Igbo land, Igbo speaking Biafra land, hinterland, to come and be killing and maiming people because you promised to kill these people. They are dying woto. Asari Dokubo is the person who is those who are deploying criminals into Biafra land. Asari Dokubo. He has a lot of them in his disposal. Now, let's continue to listen to Asari Dokubo.
It's the same right that are we in a dictatorship?
Listen.
Are we in the military? It is the same right that the governor has that I have. Our state authority did not give the governor the right to order for my death.
Asari Dokubo. He's scared.
Because if the law cannot protect the citizens, they have the right to resort to self-help.
Like a Mazen Namde Kanu. And you say it is a criminal. It is a crime. So yours is not.
The right to resort to. If I'm a governor, I will not be that stupid to make stupid statements.
Okay. He's threatening the governor now.
Governor, I will not be that stupid to make stupid statements.
Okay. Because the governor did not recognize him. I don't know who.
Which legitimate.
I don't know who the governor is or whom the governor, what is the activities of the governor. But as long as Asari Dokubo is fighting that governor, and that is the same way that you will see the infiltrator against IPOB. This is their modus operandi. If they cannot have their way with you, they start threatening you. They start trying to make you ungovernable so that you will give them money. But tomorrow I will show you the evidence of how it works. Then you bring it to the Hijimako's letter, Hijimako's confession. Let's continue.
What he's doing.
Oh,
I will not make some statement. The laws are there. All of us, the president, the governor, the minister, everybody is under the constitution, protected by the constitution.
Oh, protected.
Nobody is above the constitution.
Okay.
So you are governor now, you have the right to order.
Nobody is above the constitution, but Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was released by the court of a competent jurisdiction. Under the law that is outlined by the Constitution of Nigeria, he was discharged and acquitted. That constitution was undermined. Asari Dokubo supported that undermining of that constitution. Now he is coming to tell you nobody is above the law, the constitution, because it is about him. Selfish people in Africa. Selfish black people. Very, very sad indeed.
People to be killed. Is that the constitutional duties of a governor? Is that the constitutional duty of a governor to order for people to be arrested and be killed? I have nothing against the governor.
Wow.
Like I said, maybe our path will never cross.
Oh.
But I have my right.
Somebody's scared.
We should stay within the confines of our rights.
Somebody is scared.
You can't threaten me. Tell the army people, and somebody come and shoot me on the way.
You have a bulletproof car. Why are you threatening?
That's the end. Why? I have nothing against him. I will never have anything against him.
Oh.
I've never quarreled with all the things we did with it.
Hey.
I even came out.
Somebody is scared.
Because it's coming off the us. If today it happened that there's any challenge, there's anybody who wants to harm the governor of Rivers State, I will continue to ask you. I will continue to stand and defend you.
Have you ever seen somebody so scared, but when they come to media space, they tell you they have a bulletproof, they have this. He came and declared his asset. He has houses in more than 5 countries. He declared his asset in the media. What is his work? That is what people are even asking him in the comment section, that aggravates him. Because if you want him to confess, go to the his comment section and you will just tell him. It aggravates him. What is your work? Your work is to carry gun. Ever since we know you, it is to carry gun, working against the government, using pipeline to threaten the government. Yet the same government is working with you. So this government, they do what is called, that is no wonder they are trying to recruit people. They decided to recruit agent provocateur. And they recruited those that are close to IPOB. That is how they roll. They recruit them to use them. Those who were fighting for freedom from these politicians and their Western counterparts. They decide to recruit them, use money to lure them out of the freedom they are fighting. Because these people actually lack what is called they lack what is called the resilience, or they don't have that, in their blood. The resoluteness. They are not formidable. They don't know what they want. They don't know the value of the freedom they are actually embarking on. They believe it is all about when there is something going on. A politician will give you they will give you maybe 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. That 20 million, it cannot even buy you. It can only buy you 1 Jeep. What type of a house that 20 million will even build for you in Nigeria today? How long are you going to eat such 20 million they will use to bribe you? When you finish that 20 million, because it is a free money, it is a free money that comes with the wind, it goes with the wind. You will go back to your poverty. You will start looking for another one. Looking for who to sell. Looking for what you will say in the media space that will, promote this government in order for you to gain their access to these governors or to these people, politicians. It will never save you. Asari is now trying to make peace because he has met his match, someone who knows him very well. I am not actually trying to stand on the side of the governor of Rivers State. I don't know whom he is. I don't know what he does or what will be his regime will look like. But as long as Asari Dokubo tried and start crying, calling for peace, it shows that there is something different about him. He is not like Mwikonye Kai Kai. Asari Dokubo and Wike help and massacred our people in Obibo. Our people, you are aware of that? Wike and Asari Dokubo help to massacre our people in Obibo. Sometimes they come out and act like they are enemies. Today, their master has they are now the same master. Come out from a governor, go to minister. People who are not ashamed of themselves. Out of a governor, go into a ministerial position. Likewise, Devil Omahi, out of governor, go out to ministerial position, telling you that the Ebonyi State is not part of Biafra. Dave Umahi has only access to one vote if there will be a referendum. It is one man, one vote. You are not a governor of Ebonyi State. You cannot even decide for the people of Ebonyi State. Not even a governor of Ebonyi State will decide for the people of Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State people will decide exactly where they want to be, who they want to be with. It is actually a freedom to decide whom you want to align with, what type of a nation you want to be in. What do you want as a person? That is the freedom we are asking United Nations, African Union, including even ECOWAS. That is what we are asking for, a right to decide. We want to go back to our heritage. We had a heritage. We discontinued from this heritage immediately when Britain came to that sub-Saharan region, and in 1914, more than 107 years ago, they come to say amalgamation will take place here so that we will use the caliphate to suppress these people who has what it takes to build a nation that is going to be greater than nations. We use caliphate to suppress them, hand them over the power of army and police. And that's exactly what they did. And that is what is haunting us today. And we say no to it. And that's why we are calling for a referendum. Because African Union, you might, if we are not going to do it in a peaceful manner. We are very peaceful and civilized people. We care about our people so dearly. Now, regardless of whom you are, you intimidate our people. You have us to contend with. You see, Biafrans from the coastal region, which they call South, to hinterland, to some part of Middle Belt, we love them so much that we want their freedom. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in the solitary confinement, even after the court has set him free, for the sake of the freedom of these people. So what do you think? You think taking money from governor is going to help you? You think giving accolade to governors is going to help you? You think trying to make friends with politicians is going to, give us what we are looking for? No. When we want to fight the enemy, we fight the enemy. We're not behaving like the enemy. We can, in the guise of fighting the enemy, we cannot be fighting the enemy just because we envy what the enemy is doing, because we want to do the same. No, we don't roll like that. But it is very, very important that we remain resolute. Consistency is the key. We must continue, and we will achieve this Biafra that we are looking for. We will achieve it. Believe you me. Believe you me. The last joker they want to use our leader to play, just like they are preparing for that joker. All we are asking for is Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The court of law has set him free. While they are planning their joker, we are articulating our response as well. We are running out of patience. Biafrans, Biafrans are running out of patience. That's why they can go with any infiltrator that comes around. You know that. And that's why you are using infiltrator to exhaust them. To make them to deplete everything at their disposal that they will use. By the time that it is now going to be the real thing, they will be tired. They will be exhausted. That's what you are doing. And they are responding because they are so angry. If we give our people order to march today, if the DOS give Biafrans order to march today, don't you think they will march? They will. Forget that is happening, the saga that is playing out in the social media space. We control Biafra land, not the infiltrators. So if you are a governor, if you like, go and give Canon Takano money. Give him a car. If you are a governor, go and give Aloy Ejimako money. and so that they will not enforce it at home in your land. That criminal from the US who is answering a case of misrepresentation. If you want to go and do all that, kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, let him, this guy tell us he's in the mountain praying for your selfish aggrandizement. It will not stop us. These people, they are not part of what we are doing. When the decision will come, those of you who are evil people, it will affect you more. So if you are a governor in Biafra land, govern well. Take care of our people while you are still a governor of that state. Because anybody you kill today, you will pay for it tomorrow. Regardless of what it takes. The life of our people matters. They have died enough. More than 3.5 million women and children died at the orchestrated war by Britain, 1967 to 1970. No one was taken into account. Gov't is still rolling. Very soon, he is old. Very soon, he died. He will die with his ignorance and lies without telling the truth to Nigeria. Because that's how they are. They know their people is in politics. They will continue to actually recycle them. Recycle. Generation to generation. The same people are being recycled. That's exactly what is going on. If you are watching us on Facebook, follow us on that Facebook page where you are watching us. If you are watching us on YouTube, click the like button. Follow us and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are watching us on Twitter, try to follow us on Twitter at Judge Money C, on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa, on Facebook at Judge Money Blog or Judge Money Official, even Judge Money /TV. We are live in all those platforms. Wherever you are watching from, share the video and invite others to join. That's the support you give to this program we are doing. We will continue. We're not going to fight. We're not going to relent. We fight until last man standing. We are here to pave way for the benefit of our children. Not for us. Not for what we are going to eat today. It is for the benefit of our children. Because we cannot bring children in this world knowing the truth of what is going on, and we allow them to blindly go into this trap that is being set against them, that is working against them. It is the duty of a parent to pave way and teach a child in the way that they must grow. So we are trying to pave a better way for our children, that when they grow up, they will continue where we stop and make Africa great. That is our slogan. Make Africa great again. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.